I was mentioned within Eddie Siki. No, two major incidents at me also our parliament, and I don't know how you're going to take this, and that is why I will be me and share comments. Now, Yehudi wants to see Jenny. Ewan Semno, Ehunina, Efa, the former finance minister, as you know, yet me a declare no fugitive. Chese or then one combine yes, no. Now, and then on the floor of parliament, you bet me I can watch as I say, abine, yes, abine, that is the majority caucus of parliament. Omo etime issue a former public official apology what I say e ama Ken Ofori Atta recent incident akoso ho. Now aside that who go pie more parliament bi ma Ofori Atta the Ken former finance minister wetimi akasa now okasai e de famframa through Nana Musifo what I say why say ho no. Now according to Afanyoma Kins or no say we minority leader HM say and na de be tia homache Ofori Atta the former finance minister called any dinkomo over the incident akoso ewo Ghana enra ene ne yetime declare wanted. Now according to Afanyoma Kins nkomo ne Ofori Atta di ya obeba beti no ebe kire say Ofori Atta kwa is a family o say mo kana asem nyina wati ni nyina wo so wati de ekoso Ghana but then why trauma wonya trauma what I say why traumatized by eye enra declaration no ye betimi ede eno so etimi abrew where Afanyoma Kins yetimi idudu dwansem. Now, yes, I say, when he said bare few days ago, and I just said the story drop here as a former finance minister Ofori Atta's in the house has been raided. In fact, the initial speculations about was pointing to the OSP. At least that's according to Paul Adom watching it me by say he has info, say OSP, and as a special prosecutor, and I etime ready if you and as was sending soldiers no more but then Oman fashion. Now, a day later, the special prosecutor held a press conference. And I with me we said former finance minister Ken Ofori Atta ye declared wanted and answer on one kasa involuntary na on flight embra because they have a cause to believe as the reason or the two kwan no e kululu as a person evade justice and ntini ama na ultimatum se sa ultimatum no so no amade a then they will force to arrest him. And then day on the floor of parliament and I say we opinion friend say Mahama Yarga say the ono na the majority leader. Now Mahama Yarga HM say and some of the betu jay he is speaking after say we consultation with all stakeholders which includes the defense ministry and I say defense minister Maneboama also any IGP akasa and I feel so the national security heads etimi edi nkomo. Now enkomo mu nyina edi ye no ene say you see this picture wait me by a day after say reading a course of finance minister where this man in the frame is believed to be opinion friends Richard Japa or no if national security honor. Now according to what the fuck okay. Now according to Mahama Yarga ya wono represented the majority our parliament team say this particular image is circulating and they can confirm say indeed a military omu already one it was led by Richard Japa. But then on behalf of government stakeholders and also omu security so which includes the defense ministry the national security IGP no omu nyina gitum say asema ekọ so na military mu a etimi already Ken Ofori Atta efie de ntwa yi enu nti officially omu nyina etimi age atum e de asem amane no ese ontimi fa achopa embra na omepa Ghana fo achewo na afi so na achopa ni bi nko emfama Ken Ofori Atta over enema ekoso e woni fie no omugitum se enyamra kwan so entwa yi enu nti free na ekuri no ebi entumi ensi bi abusan yenko ne nkotie Mahama Yarga wono the majority leader yeba then we listen to honorable Afanyoma Kins wono so eche nkomo ne finance minister edi na wotimi ebedi tuda e parliament o chim say according to finance minister Kwano wenya trauma over the incident akoso in the past 3 days no
whip the minority whip sought leave of the speaker and the indulgence of the house to raise a matter that he thought was of urgent public importance. He drew attention to a joint police military entry into the private residence of the former Minister of Finance, Honorable Ken Ofori Atta. So, Speaker, it is true that the private residence of the former Minister of Finance was entered into by operatives of the military and the police, led by somebody who we believe works at the National Security Coordinator's Office. Mr. Speaker, his name is Mr. Jakwa. Mr. Speaker, we have investigated the matter, and we want to say and assure our fellow countrymen and our colleagues in this House that we have received assurances from the Office of the National Security Coordinator that it was not intended that that should happen, and that occurrence is most regrettable and unfortunate, and he wants to give this House his word and assurance that a thing like that should never happen again. Mr. Speaker, I have also spoken with the Minister of Interior, who has spoken with his IGP, and I've spoken with the Minister of Defense, and all of them give their assurance to this House that a thing like that will not happen again. And so, Mr. Speaker, let me indicate to my colleagues on the other side that this side of the House remain committed to ensuring that this country is reset, that its institutions function properly, that its officials act in accordance with the law, and that the rights and liberties of every citizen are upheld and protected under the regime of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
So Oyerepa and I say Afenyoma or no abe the minority leader or no suit me born about so first say at least we are football and will show sportsmanship. So I say what me agia tum say abind the omo no or ma fumra we omu political you be a what me a party. So what about so I was at all panel when the fact that what me I honest and when with me am assurance if fine equal almost wait me cooperate as politicians no what me a decent politics and no and I ought to also watch them come when the former finance minister itimi by phone call ahomachi ade ebechi where the finance minister confirmed to him say indeed woyare or kwaja yare and that all kompono utimi issue letter edema chief of staff after the market say okoso twaso etimi afraid is chief of staff etimi confirming ye emwogitum say indeed bibisa etimi akoso but then ochiremu said ogitum say ken Ofori Atta hoto na obetimi a return na afin so no de mrade bia ne de so ye bia watimi abeye but then enyo Ofori Atta na ma assurance obeba o say ono agitum he hopes and believes say ne hoto na de wo ye bia no obetimi a return so it's not like we jane kwan bone so but then oko no akwaja yarehwe enu nti no enye ne bone kwan so abusan yenko na yenkotie honorable Afenyo Markins.
Honorable Oyerepa in ECOWAS Parliament is known as a sincere partner when it comes to resolving conflicts, and he's demonstrated it here. So, my respected leader, I want to assure you that our side would engage you constructively. Let's do the politics in a very decent way. Let's respect each other. Let's use words that are complementary. Hold those who are the lowest ebb up and bring them up. If somebody is making a mistake, you go to the person and say, look, you could do it better. If somebody does it well, compliment, let's celebrate each other. In the end, our principles will remain. I'm an MPP, proudly so. You are an NDC, proudly so. Don't let us use this platform to denigrate even our leaders. Sometimes the way we go after our leaders, the little said about it, the better. We use unprintable words. And let me caution all of us. The 2024 elections, check the percentage turnout. In Central, we didn't go beyond 60%. In Volta, around the same figures. In Ashanti, Upper East, Upper West, Greater Accra, the mighty Greater Accra, where all the politics is done. Find out the percentage turnout. What it means is that a percentage of our population is getting fed up with the political class because of our conduct. So, Mr. Speaker, some few days ago, I was scolded. Why are you apologizing? I said, when you need to correct the wrong, swallow your ego. At least that's what I've been taught. It doesn't matter. And if the whole majority leader, on behalf of government, is apologizing to an individual, we must celebrate him. And I would want to encourage our state institutions, especially those public servants who, when they see a change of government, they want to prove something to the new political masses. Me, I've been working with them, I know. They want to please. Some of them are changing their status, their DP. We see it all. They should be careful. At least today, the majority leader has made it clear that they cannot act in the name of the government, then they would go scot-free. If there is anything against any past government official, due process must be followed. And I'm sure all of us will have peace. My respected colleague, extend to His Excellency the President of the Republic the assurances of the minority that with this, we would also accord him every courtesy due him as President of the Republic. We would cooperate and oppose when we have to oppose. After all, our duty is to oppose you. And we can work together as a people to represent our people and for our people to learn from us and to teach us and to train us and to help us to advance this democracy. I want to conclude, Mr. Speaker, by saying that Mr. Ofori, as at this morning, I had an extensive engagement with him. He's traumatized by the labeling of this adjective described to his person. But he still knows that his God is with him. He's undergoing some medical procedure. In fact, I had an early morning engagement with the Chief of Staff who confirmed that indeed Mr. Ofori wrote to him and he's in receipt of the letter. He was very sincere in telling me that. So within reasonable time, I'm sure he would come. I will also engage the Office of the Special Prosecutor, engage constructively, assure him and his office that if there was any miscommunication, I, as the leader of my side, is assuring him that the man will make himself available. He left the country with permission. He would come, and if there is anything that has to be investigated, he will make himself available. It's not easy to serve your country, and I'm sure all shall be well for the good of us all. Mr. Speaker, I thank you so much for this.
The government and I say Aban led by majority leaders and I say the majority caucus in parliament only the friend say Mahama etmia confirm say the raid on the former finance minister's house no it's illegal say any military regime bia so that say and you know those who led that raid you know which includes Japa ya ono efi the national security coordinator so ye omo ebetimi ahwe na de mrade bia no omo etimi e de ato Agyapong etimi akọ e de ama finance minister former ya che so omo gitum se de course na entwa yi na nsese nkesi omama assurance fi na ekuri ebi ensi biom. And then what ya fenyo markings the minority leader ono so kire the phone conversation one honorable Folia sasa one Ofori Atta etimi enyaye ahomache ade e beche a watimi ede ni nyina so abeto parliament ani ma se Ghana fo nyina ehuze say the situation no ete na Ofori Atta chemse won dwane kwan bone so okono usiki permission what the letters ahodo okọ baby ese ekọ e ma special prosecutor no kra no mo di bi command so mo ntia say the reason ese utimi fa akiri ebekika ensem ye de no a oye no enso ni actions e no oye no ama openie friend say Ofori Atta why traumatized so that say eno update ifi Ken Ofori Atta the finance minister or also nsem no etimi adrope ebusia hi Phoenix Media medi edisi Ken e first time and now etimi subscribe afin so the comment section is open obetimi akere wadwen na yehu de unsu si dwen e de efa ensem wi